Walt is a man who has very, I think, grandiose visions for himself and his future. He is a bit drunk on power, and I don't think he loves the meth business so much, but I think he loves the feeling of power that it provides him that he has never felt in 5 decades on the planet. So I think he's a bit addicted to the process, the world that he's living in. Well, in those last 5 minutes of last season, we definitely saw Walt win a 13-episode-long chess match that he had been playing for an entire season of television, and I think it was a great relief, probably, for the audience to see him win over Gustavo Fring. And I think that now that he is a winner, now that he is, as we say on the poster, now that he is the king, the question is, what happens next? What is it to be the king? And how does one, once one assumes the throne, how does one continue to possess it? I think those are going to be big questions and big issues going forward in season 5. We're closing in on the ending. My writers and I are just now sitting down to break the final 8 episodes. And you'd be surprised. We have quite a lot figured out, or we think we do, but you'd be surprised perhaps how little we do have figured out, because it takes a while to figure this stuff out, because you want to dot all the I's and cross all the T's and make sure you're not forgetting anything major, but also because you want to stay as flexible as you can for as long as you can when you're coming up with these stories. You want to allow yourself receptivity. You want to stay open to better ideas as they may come down the pike. So to that end, I think certain things about the ending of Breaking Bad are going to hew pretty closely to ideas I had from day one. But I most certainly did not have the whole thing figured out from day one, and there's quite a bit left to figure out. So there's a lot of invention left to us to come up with before it's all done. I never get online about this show. I never do. It's not that I'm not interested. It's not that I'm not interested. I am very interested. And in fact, my assistant, who's around here somewhere, pulls all this stuff off the internet, prints it up, and then puts it in these big Rubbermaid boxes, these bins. And I take them home and put them in my garage, and someday I'll go through it all. But only years from now when I'm not as emotionally invested. My writers and I, as we say, we're the first fans of the show, and our best bet and what we've done all along and what we intend to continue doing is to sit together in a room and say to ourselves, what should happen next, what would we like to see happen next. But also even that can be limiting. You also need to say to yourself, what do I want to see happen next as the writer? But then you have to say to yourself, you can't shoehorn what you would like into a character's behavior. If you're being really honest, you want to create the show as organically as possible, and you want to continue to ask the most primary question is, starting with Walt, you can say this to all the characters, where's Walt's head at right now? What does he want right this minute? What is he scared of right this minute? What's his next move? That's the best way to tell the story. We don't always do it that way. Sometimes we have a great idea for a scene, but then if we're being honest with ourselves, we say, can we get Walt to get to that point? If we have to put a square peg in a round hole, if we have to bang on the character to make him get there, then we're doing something wrong, and we need to kill our darlings, as Faulkner used to say, and we need to forget that so-called great scene and find something else. So you kind of got to roll with it. But you can't, you can if you want. There's 100 ways to do this job. But it seems to me it works best if you have those blinders on, if you have that tunnel vision you spoke of, if you don't think too much about what people want or say they want on the internet. Also because, as wonderful as the most vocal fans are, the folks who are in there on the internet, I can't say with any certainty they represent the average viewer, because the average viewer probably is not necessarily on the internet right after the show ends. But God bless them all. I love them all. I love anyone who watches this show and digs it. But we try to leave those aspects out of the story as we tell it. Your best bet, and I think this would apply to any TV show or any movie, is to get as solid an understanding of the character you're writing about as possible, and then be as honest, even to the point of doing damage to certain hopes and dreams you have. Be as honest as you can be about that character, and say, what does he want next? What's his goal? What's his obstacle? How's he going to get from point A to point B? Let him tell you where he's going. That has held us in good stead for 5 years now. When we deviate too far from that, as we have done a couple times, you start to feel the danger. You start to think this is the wrong way to go. This job has allowed me a great many more opportunities, which I'm unable as of yet to take advantage of, because this is the only thing I've done for 5 years, more than 5 years. I wish I could do more than one thing at once. When this is all over, I imagine the phone will ring more often than not, compared to how it was ringing 6, 7 years ago. I hope I make the right choice the next time out, because this really did feel like lightning in a bottle. I don't know how many opportunities you get for lightning in a bottle in a career. I would like to think this is not as good as it gets, but I don't know. I hope I choose right next time out.